Oh, I am calm. Calm as a carrot in dirt. Just a few more steps. Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Beacon Pines. We have a lot to do today and still quite a lot to get through in the book. So let's not dilly-dally and get straight on into it. A fierce twinkle flashed in Nat's eyes. Luca Van Horn, you are going to save the world. With a chuckle, Nat turned and walked west, dumbfounded. Luca followed behind him, trudging through the snow, every step taking him further away from everyone and everything he knew, and closer to destiny.
To be continued in Beacon Pines. Revenge
Yeah, wait.
Wait, that's it? I was even... No way. Let's go back and find...
Gotta find a new outcome. Let's go same path, but up. Refuse.
Luca had no
See what
choice
happens.
but to refuse Iggy's request. He tightened his grip and reached for the walkie-talkie in his pocket. A wild delight crept onto Mr. Kerr's face. That's a good lad. Now, radio for help. Iggy begged Luca with his eyes one last time, but Luca pressed the button and called out. We need help. Mr. Kerr is in danger. It wasn't long before they were once again surrounded by clipboards.
Of course.
Mr. Kerr sighed with relieved frustration. There you are. You really are a worthless lot, aren't you? Mirror, now. A clipboard dutifully produced an ornate ivory hand mirror, and Mr. Kerr began preening his tousled hair. Ah, that's better.
Because that's what matters when you
Mr.
just
Van Horn,
almost
I
died.
applaud your sharp thinking under duress. I'll put in a good word for you with the founder. Take them away.
The founder?
A swarm of hands overpowered Luca. The last thing he saw before a cloth bag was pulled over his head.
I think both of these
was the defeated
outcomes
look on
are
Iggy's
bad.
face. The end.
Yeah.
I think this was one of those times where doing the right thing was the wrong thing.
Alright. This one. So this is during the storm, and he told Beck not to come out with us. So Luca began to respond, and sky began to break.
Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to break, revealing patches of star-filled summer night. Moonlight filtered down, shimmering in the treetops.
Sure, you can meet Rollo. You're not going home? No, I promised Rollo I'd tell him about...
Luca stopped himself mid-sentence.
Promise you'd tell him what? Spit it out, bub. We're thick as thieves now. If there's a juicy secret, you gotta tell me. Okay. You can come to the treehouse and I'll tell you both what happened. Heck yeah! Maybe we will, or maybe we will get into a fight. I don't know. So you're telling me there's nothing mysterious or creepy about this place? It's mostly boring and empty. I refuse to believe that. Big spiked gates? Looming mansion? Rich reclusive owners? It even smells shady.
Beck grabbed the wrought iron bars and shook the gate.
Mark my words, you decadent nightmare house. You will reveal your secrets to me! Whoa. What did you do? First of all, I told you so. Second, hide. That's Eris Valentine. So founders means like the founders of town. So maybe they are in charge. Who's that she's talking to? I expect you to return that suit in working order. Of course. As long as everything proceeds as planned. There's nothing to worry about. The only thing I'm worried about is what's rightfully mine. If that means making some unsavory alliances, so be it. I couldn't agree more. There comes a time to suspend hostilities. I'll deal with our common threat. Now this is what I was talking about.
Beck's voice was an excited whisper.
Proper shady stuff. Someone in a suit like that tried to grab me yesterday. Seriously? You do understand that when this all inevitably fails, I will deny everything. I wouldn't expect any less of you. You just worry about your part in this and let me handle the rest. I can't wait to look on that Rube Kerr's face. Yes, the truth will come to light. I'm still surprised you're so comfortable with the potential collateral damage. If there's one thing I've learnt, it's that change is painful. Wow, I was expecting shady, but that's just flat out supervillain talk. If you don't mind me asking, why? Why are you doing all of this?
The mysterious figure retracted their mask, hair pushing out from all corners.
Is it our grandma? It's our grandma! Family.
A chill ran down Luca's spine. His vision blurred. Beck stifled a sharp wince, and Luca looked down to see himself wrenching her hand.
An answer I can certainly respect.
Gran tousled her hair back under the face mask.
Just remember, keep everything nice and normal until the festival. I don't need lessons in rousing suspicion.
Gran gave Eris a curt nod and disappeared
into the net. I wonder if she was actually the thing that made the ice,
5.
you know, explode.
What big ears you have. Luca sat shivering in the bushes, staring at his feet. After checking to make sure the coast was clear, Beck gave him a gentle tug on his sweater.
What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. Why are you so scared of that old lady in the hazmat suit? I'm not scared. That was my Gran. That was your Gran? Yeah. Okay, well, I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for all of this. Let's just get to the treehouse and figure things out there. Lead the way. She's probably trying to save everyone because maybe she knows. I don't. For the last time, there's nothing to worry about. Of course we're not worried.
The clipboard finished writing with a scratchy flourish and looked up.
Just dotting our I's and crossing our T's. Well, maybe try minding your P's and Q's.
Mr. Nuncreed, arms crossed over his paunch, gave an exhausted sigh.
If there's anything you need knowing, you'll know it. Absolutely. If you'll just sign here acknowledging everything is accurate, we'll be out of your hair in a flash. Oh, for the love of...
He snatched the pad and scribbled his name so hard the pen nearly snapped.
Wow. There. And would you like my eternal soul as well?
The clipboards looked at each other for a moment, almost pondering the possibility, then broke into laughter as they walked away.
Maybe. We gotta be careful of this guy. Hi, Mr. Nuncreed. Luca, let me give you some advice. The next time someone you don't know asks to hear your thoughts, give him a good hard bop right in the kisser. Oh, Gran tells me to just keep away from the clipboards. That's good, that's good. Your Gran is a smart lady, Luca. Please don't flirt. Speaking of which, you'd better run along home now. Too dark to be out here wandering on your own. Not wrong. Still reading. The answers you seek will be revealed to you in due time. The question is, the figure intoned. Are you prepared to live with the truth? Another day, another dollar. See you tomorrow, Z. Have you noticed how all the perennial harvest folks order the same drink? Decaf cappuccino with extra foam. Why? I don't know. I just thought it's a little odd. Pretty weird for sure. Well, the customer's always right. See you bright and early tomorrow. Ah, can't wait.
William Kerr and Gus Valentine proudly surveyed the half-covered festival banner.
It's all coming together quite nicely. Couldn't have done it without you.
The mayor gave a half-hearted shrug.
I'm not sure about that. Nonsense. That reminds me, I wasn't able to thank your sister for her contributions. Ah yes, she's been indisposed of late. She doesn't much like me, does she? Oh no, that's not it at all. She's just been busy. Of course. Regardless, I would be forever grateful if you could pass on my thanks to her. The History Museum adds a real air of import to the whole affair. And we couldn't very well celebrate the story of Beacon Pines without including the Valentines. My father was a great man. You darn tootin' he was.
Kerr locked his arm on Gus's shoulder.
But I mean the entire Valentine family. Present company included. Can I ask you something, Mr. Kerr? Call me William. Ask away. William, why are you doing all of this? Gosh, I've never felt one needed a compelling reason to throw a party. Not just the festival. All of this. There's gotta be 100 down on their luck towns out there. Why is Perennial Harvest so invested in helping Beacon Pines? You know what I love most about the agriculture business? Seeds. Seeds? Yep, little bundles of potential.
With a glimmer in his eye, Kerr gestured grandly toward the horizon.
You treat seeds right, nurture it, feed it, and it can grow into something truly special. You see potential here? Indubitably. The seeds of greatness is already under our feet. All it needs is a little nudge. And the right leadership, of course. Oh. Good night, Mayor Valentine. That sounds like he wants to become mayor. I don't want you to become mayor, sir. I don't like that thought. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, the treehouse is just a little further from here. So, what's your buddy Rolo like? Rolo? He's Rolo. Not particularly helpful. Sorry, I've just never thought about it. Lots of energy. He's funny, even when he's not trying to be. Things have been tough for his family since the Foul Harvest. It's about time you tell me what this Foul Harvest thingy is. It's kinda a long story. Hit me with the highlights. Okay. There used to be a fertilizer company here called Valentine's. They were kind of a big deal. Oh, big deal fertilizer. It was a big deal to us. Their stuff really worked. Farmers loved it. So Valentine's grew and grew. Beacon Pines pretty much grew around it. Most everyone in town either worked for Sharper Valentine or used his fertilizer. Things were good. I'm sensing a big but. Around 6 years ago, Sharper Valentine suddenly died. And something changed. Changed how? Could have been a bad batch. Maybe it was in the water or air or soil. Nobody knows. But all the crops died. And everyone blamed the Valentines. The foul harvest. Yeah. Valentine's fertilizer went out of business. Half the town lost their jobs. Sheesh. The next year the crops came back, but something was different. You plant a crop, do everything right, and it's sort of a crapshoot what happens. It's because it wasn't the same area. It wasn't that rich nutrient, like that nutrient-rich soil that they used to have because they moved the entire town over secretly. So they're starting from ground one. Without the fertilizer because they hate it and they blame it. And no one knows why? Nope. I take it Rollo's farm got the short end of the stick. Yeah, for some reason their farm was hit harder than others. That sucks. Things have gotten better since Perennial Harvest came to town. The Beacon Pines Reborn initiative? Yep, first thing they did was give the town a deep scrub. They even put us up in hotels one town over for a week, while they decontaminated the groundwater. We'd better get going. So maybe that 1 week was when they moved them. They're like, oh yeah, we'll take you back to a different town that we just made. We've been working on. Interesting. Timeline matches up. It's about time. I was about to give up and go home. Who's the new kid? Name's Beck. You must be Rollo. I see my reputation precedes me. Welcome to Mission Control.
Rollo waggled his head with pride.
You'll find we've spared no exception in construction. I've seen worse looking piles of junk. Thanks. Hey Luca, you know the security concerns we talked about? Yeah. While I was waiting, I made some improvements. Let me lock this bad boy down for a little test infiltration. Can't be too safe these days. Where'd he get a power drill? Uh-oh. Among Us. Target? He goes all out, doesn't he? Always. Okay. Where did you guys get all of this junk in the first place? There's a guy in town named Jeff who trades us junk for snacks. Junk food for junk? Nice. Pretty much, yes. So, pretty sweet security, right? It was imaginative, I'll give you that. Luca, are we sure we can trust the new recruit? I'll vouch for her. Thanks, I guess. Oh, Luca, you promised to fill me in about the Valentine's warehouse.
Luca sucked in a long breath.
So like I said, there was someone there. What were they doing? I don't know, but the place was lit up and active. Maybe there were squatters? I don't think so. It seemed more organized. The man pulled me in. I saw some sort of equipment running. A man pulled you in? Yeah, but I got away. You keep saying it was a man. They were wearing a mask, right? Yeah. Then it could have been a woman. How did you get away? I grabbed a rock or something and broke their mask. They let go and I ran. Dang. That's intense. No wonder you freaked out when you saw your grandma. Yeah, that's the other part. On our way here, Beck and I saw Heiress Valentine meeting with Gran, wearing the same sort of hazmat suit.
Rollo let out a low whistle.
And they weren't there for idle chit-chat. It was a proper clandestine meetup. So let me get this straight. There's an operation in full swing at the Valentine warehouse. You were almost abducted by a strange man or woman in a protective suit. And then you saw your Gran in the same suit talking to Heiress Valentine? Pretty much. I'm beginning to think this town is kinda awesome.
Rollo and Luca shot back a look.
No offense. And so we can logically conclude aliens or alien zombies have infiltrated the town. Real low. And their leadership is your Gran, and she tried to murder you. First of all, and for the last time, there are no aliens. Second, it couldn't have been my Gran at the warehouse. I broke that person's mask to get away. The mask Gran was wearing wasn't damaged. But she's definitely hiding something. Maybe. She's trying to infiltrate their base. Your Gran is weird, but she might be the most boring person in the universe. All she does is sit around all day making jam. What could she possibly have to hide? I don't know, we haven't talked much since you moved in. Moved in? Your Gran isn't from here? No, she came a few months back to take care of me after his mum went missing. Did you know your Gran before? Not really, no. It had been years since I'd seen her. Luca, don't take this the wrong way. But are you sure your Gran is on the up and up?
Luca gazed out the window.
I'm just saying, it sounds like strange stuff has been happening since she showed up. We could say the same thing about your family. But you're right. Luca, your Gran is hiding something. And Pa always says folks only burying stuff worth digging. We need to investigate your house. If my Gran is hiding something, don't you think I would have noticed by now? The wardrobe! We're not allowed in the wardrobe, it has to be in there. That's kind of the whole point of hiding something. I guess you're right. Gran's been leaving the house for a few hours at a time this week. I'll call you tomorrow when the coast is clear. And we can start getting to the bottom of this. I'm always game for a good snoop. You can count me in. She could be up to anything when we're not there too.
Chapter 6. Secret Lair.
Ooh.
Summer forged ahead, but the nights only seemed to grow colder. Luca walked home slowly under the pale starlight, cautious to avoid any more surprises lurking in the shadows.
Good.
Reaching home, he slipped quietly into bed, half dreading what they might discover the next day.
What time is it? Calming. Rollo, what on earth is that? Hmm? It's his detective outfit, of course. That ridiculous thing on your head. Oh, this? It helps me think. You're gonna need a lot more of those. Joke all you want. We'll see who's laughing when I crack the case wide open. Coast clear? Yep. Whatever she's been up to this week, it's been keeping her busy most of the day. Very well. The game is afoot.
Luca and Beck rolled their eyes as Rollo strutted across the room.
If I were a Gran, where would I hide my deepest, darkest secrets? Perhaps where you might least expect it.
Rollo flung open the cabinet with confidence.
Pretty sure it's in the wardrobe that we're not allowed to look in. Because it's the only place we're not allowed to look in.
A veil of dust hit his face.
I think it's safe to assume anything that dusty isn't what we're looking for. Or maybe that's what she wants you to think. Then again, any good detective knows not to trust their first hunch. First hunches are for suckers. Eureka! She's lit a fire in order to burn the evidence. She keeps that fire going every day, Rollo. Drat. May already be too late. Just to think, the mounds of documents lost to ash. Okay. I'm gonna stop you right there. Can we just think for a moment? Luca, is there anywhere Gran doesn't want you to go? Yeah. The closet upstairs. So maybe it stands to reason that we should check there first? No dice. It's locked. Well, well, well. Look who stands to reason now. I have no idea where the key is. If it really is important, then she probably keeps it with her. Anywhere else? She has her berry bushes. Who has ever thought, I'm gonna take this important thing to huck it in a bush? True, but there could be a door under it. Anything else? Maybe something out of the ordinary? Well, she is always worried I'll break into her fancy dishware in the kitchen. But it doesn't matter anyway, I can't reach the latch.
A look of realization crept onto Luca's face.
What if it's a secret door? Oh!
All three kids snapped to glance at each other, then sprinted in turn toward the kitchen.
Alright, Rollo. It's your time to shine, tall boy. Ah, yes. You've called upon my expert detective skills. And now I shall proceed with...
Before he could finish, Luca scrambled up Rollo's back.
Nice. Hey, this isn't my idea of detective work. Every squad needs a lockpick. And every good lockpick needs a sturdy head to sit on. This is beneath my standing. Stop complaining and hold still. Got it.
The three crowded around the hutch to peer in. With the glass doors opened, a perfect porcelain display gleamed in front of them. Their eyes searched for anything amiss. But the only distinct feature was its impeccability.
Well, that was anticlimactic. Yeah. I don't really know what we were expecting. Like, oh hey, let me just yank on this random teacup and...
As Beck pulled
door?
on one of the teacups, it slanted forward with a hollow click. The entire hutch began to rustle and slide under its own power.
I called it! The basement. Seems like your Gran has been doing some remodeling. Dude, only 2 types of people have secret lairs. Evil masterminds and superheroes. So which one do we think she is? Hopefully a superhero? We're about to find out. Warning. Okay, so more of an unhinged conspiracist vibe? Oh, wow. Yeah, this cannot be good. We need to look around before jumping to conclusions.
Luca jostled each cabinet drawer in turn. Only one was unlocked. He fingered through the filing cabinet, pausing at a bulging folder labeled Walter.
Walter?
For a long moment, he just stared at it.
What you got there? It's my dad. Looks like some of his old medical files. Your dad was a doctor?
Luca nodded and caressed the label with his thumb.
Well, are you gonna read it? Here, let me help.
Rollo swiped the folder from the drawer and began leafing through the pages. He whistled to himself, barely looking at the text.
How about you actually read some of it? Oh, one sec. Dense documents such as this are a lot like a cheeseburger. It's best to skip straight to the middle. That's where all the meaty bits live. Wow, I had no idea we were in the presence of a preeminent scholar in dense documents. And cheeseburgers. By all means, proceed.
He stopped at a page and mimed, holding up a monocle.
Ah, here we are. Follow-up examination of Terence Wilby. Patient shows further signs of paleness and malaise. Body temperature continues to drop. He now describes soreness of muscles and joints. This is similar to the symptoms exhibited by Mrs. Wilby just a few days past. Still waiting on the lab results from Joseph.
Rollo looked up with heightened surprise.
See? Creepy. Yeah, that's kind of disturbing. Who's Joseph? That's Mr. Nuncreed's name. Wait,
Rollo's finger traced across the page.
there's more scribble in the margins. Could it be contagious? Mr. Wilby claims that tap water at his home has been contaminated. Perhaps environmental. Lab results only raise more questions. It's like he came back to the report later and made those notes. So it might be related to something else?
Rollo scanned through several more pages.
Here, the writing looks shady. I just couldn't help her. This disease or whatever it is progresses so fast. And with his wife's passing, Terence's condition follows close behind, exacerbated by the loss. Enough is enough. I need to take matters into my own hands.
Luca, staring blankly at the cabinet this whole time, spoke softly.
What does it say next?
Rollo rustled the folder, trying to loose more pages.
That's where it ends. Wait, there has to be more.
Luca frantically shoved the remaining cabinet folders, trying to find another labeled Walter.
Luca, I think that's the only one. It's alphabetical, see? What did he mean, enough is enough? How did he take matters into his own hands? This is bull!
Luca slammed the drawer shut. A spider web of string connected photos of people from the town, interspersed with hastily scrawled notes.
Well, she sure has kept herself busy. Is your Gran a serial killer? 'Cause I'm starting to get that vibe. Don't be ridiculous. Sure, she's just tracking the movements of everyone in town. Out of the kindness of her heart. She put little symbols by some of them. Yeah, Mr. Nuncreed has a check mark. The clipboards are all inside a big circle. My mums are both on there. With big question marks. Gus Valentine has a question mark. Eris has a question mark that's been crossed out. Mr. Kerr has a bullseye. The killer has chosen her next victim. We don't know what any of this means. Whatever it means, it's probably not good. What do we have here? Barrels marked caution explosive? And jam jars? That's enough jam to feed the whole town. What kind of incidentary jam is your Gran making? Incidentary? She wouldn't have made me walk around town delivering bombs. Right? Only one way to find out.
Rollo casually spun open a lid and dipped his finger in the jam.
Huckleberries.
He smacked his lips.
A hint of brown sugar. And... ink? What?
Rollo plunged his hand in the jar, fishing out a soggy slip of paper.
Aha!
Rollo offered the slimy note to Luca and licked his fingers clean.
Addressed to Miss Fratelli. A Grand Jam Graham. It says, last night I used the disguise Eris provided to scout the location. The timing window would be possible. Operation Sparkplug is a go. Oh man, are they doing a heist? Whatever it is, it can't be good. So more a bombshell than a bomb, am I right? You're new here, so I'll let it slide. But I'm the bad joke guy around here.
They crowded around a worn-down old map of Beacon Pines.
Cool. This looks like a treasure map. Not every old map is a treasure map, Rollo. Yeah, but every treasure map is an old map. Can't fault that logic. Looks like there's even a pathway drawn on it. It starts at the entrance of town. And if we follow it...
Rollo carefully traced the path with his finger.
It leads right to...
He jabbed down at the end point.
Town Square? That's the fountain in the middle of town. What a weird place to hide treasure. Rollo, that doesn't look like treasure to me. The end of the path on that map has the same symbol as the explosives over there. So it's not hiding treasure? A real bummer. Rollo, what's the thing you've been excited about for the past month? The festival! Oh. Did you just say gulp? It feels like a gulp kind of situation. Everyone will be gathered near the center of town. She's gonna blow up the festival? Not if we stop her. What was that?
Luca looked up from the map.
What was that? No, I heard it too. That was the front door. Which means someone just shut the door. Which means someone's upstairs. Shh, quiet. Hit the lights.
Beck flicked off the light.
Hide under the table.
They became statues in the dark. Overhead, creaking floorboards bent under slow, deliberate steps. The kids looked up, the tilt of their necks following each footfall.
Uh-oh.
Then suddenly, it stopped. Without realizing, they'd been holding their breath. All three exhaled shakily and glanced at each other. A muffled male voice broke the silence.
A man's voice. Hello?
A final few footsteps reached the entrance above them, and the voice now echoed down the stairs.
It's the jam guy. Oh, the jam! Anyone down there?
The three kids shuffled to the corners without a peep. As he began to descend the stairs, the man's voice punctuated every new step. Thump.
Yoo-hoo!
Thump.
I'm not here to hurt anyone.
Thump.
I'm just here to help. Just...
Thump. At the bottom step, the man paused, squinting to search the room for signs of life.
Huh? Guess it's nothing.
Rollo shifted suddenly. Luca gave him an intense, chastising look and whispered through clenched teeth.
Rollo, don't.
It was too late. Rollo was already inching toward the stairway. He screeched as he charged toward the shadowy figure.
Rollo! Lemon chicken coop!
With all his weight, Rollo tackled the man to the ground.
Rollo? Mysterious creepy man? Anyone there?
From the dark corner, they saw something move.
Well, I didn't know I had it in me, but that was only one way to find out. Holy crap, Rollo, that was awesome. Wait, did you just kill that person?
Luca scrambled to the hunched figure on the ground.
Hope not.
Pressing his fingers to the man's neck, he sighed with relief.
Whew. You sure covered him good, Rollo. He's knocked out cold.
As Beck flicked back on the light, Luca and Rollo both gasped in stereo.
Mr. Tolliver?
Chapter 7. The Interrogation of Hiram Tolliver. Still unconscious, Mr. Tolliver slumped heavily in a shoddy old chair. His hands were bound with rope, his feet tied with some loose string. The kids huddled in a circle, discussing their plan. One thing was certain, they couldn't just let Mr. Tolliver go. They needed to know what he was doing in Luca's house. After some deliberation, it was decided.
They'd run the classic good cop, blank cop interrogation. Hard, chill cop, or good cop, hard cop.
They'd run the classic good cop, hard cop interrogation. Rollo brandished a steely gaze. I've got this. Read about it 100 times.
Alright.
Rollo swaggered past the chair which propped up the slumping Hiram Tolliver. Without even looking at his captive, he began with a long, blustery drawl.
Well, Mr. Tolliver.
Mr. Tolliver remained motionless. Rollo spun around to face him. He'd clearly expected to rouse Mr. Tolliver with his booming voice.
Booming. 14 years old or something, 12 years old. Mr. Tolliver?
Beck and Luca gave each other an unsure
12,
glance. Rollo slammed his fist on the table.
I said, Mr. Tolliver!
He grabbed the table lamp and beamed it onto the unconscious face.
You really knocked him out. Oh, there we go.
Mr. Tolliver groaned and slowly lifted his head. He recoiled with a muddled, weary squint.
What in the world?
The chair wobbled as he attempted to straighten up.
Who's there?
Mr. Tolliver could only make out rough shapes through the glaring light. With a gruff tone, Rollo hoped to both conceal his voice and intimidate.
I'll be asking the questions here, punk. Hold on. Let's just calm down. Oh, I am calm. Calm as a carrot in dirt. As for you, looks like you're sweating.
The doubtful expression on Beck and Luca's faces transformed into awe.
We can do this my way, or... well, let's just say I've never needed another way.
Rollo, hitting his stride, was now channeling every detective trope his memory could recall. He slammed the table again.
Now dance! What? I don't even...
Mr. Tolliver's voice became desperate. He was nearly in tears.
You tied me down, how on earth could I dance? Dance with your mouth, punk. Spill the beans. What are you doing poking around this house? I'm here to help Juniper. To make sure everything's ready. Oh, so you're in cahoots with Gran? You just told him who you are. Gran?
Mr. Tolliver was in a daze, now more confused than ever.
Gonna help her blow up the festival, eh? Blow up the festival? Good lord.
He shook his head, feeling more and more dizzy.
No, you've got it all wrong. Where is she now? She's headed to the source. Source? What's the source? It's where
His voice faded to a whisper.
the town began. Where it all began. What is Operation Sparkplug?
With that, Mr. Tolliver passed out cold.
He was so scared.
Rollo
Passed
swung
out.
around with a repentant grimace.
Damn, Rollo. I think you went a little too hard on him. What did he say about the source? It's where the town began? We need more information. Yeah, but we'd better not push Mr. Tolliver any further. Is there anyone else who might know more? What about the History Museum? It just got set up for the festival. Nah, that tent was put up by the Valentines. Everything they do is just a bunch of fluff to glory themselves. Is there anything more reliable? The library. If there's any information about this source thing, Kato can help us find it. Let's go get some answers. This is a dang nice library. Thanks, we work hard on it. Aren't you a little young to be a librarian? Oh, Kato hung out here so much, eventually they gave him a set of keys. I just keep an eye on the place for Ms. Novak sometimes. They got you working for free? It's quiet, and I get access to all of the books I can read. What more could a person want? Fair enough. What can I do for you all? We need a favor. I already told you and Rollo. I can't put you any higher on the waitlist for the next Tank Atomic. If you're here with more candy, I'll have you know I can't be bought. Call it a personal code of conscience. Actually, we're here to do some research. Now you're speaking my language. What are you looking for? That's the thing, we sort of don't know. What you got on the history of the town? There's the country record archives. What's in those? Births, deaths, newspaper clippings, stuff like that. Pretty boring reading. But they do go all the way back to when the town was founded. Great, we'll start there.
Chapter 8. 6 feet under, 3 towns over. The kids spent the rest of the afternoon combing through dusty piles of old county records, desperately searching for anything that could help them make sense of Mr. Tolliver's cryptic utterance. Luca tried to shake the thought of Gran's basement, but his focus wavered. Explosives, messages hidden in jam, dossiers on various town figures, and a... Gran was the only family he had left. He still couldn't bring himself to believe the worst. But the old map with the symbol of explosives in town square made that difficult.
True.
As the sun began to set, the kids were no closer to the truth.
If I have to read any more records, my eyeballs are gonna pop. We have to keep digging. If I dig another word, I'm gonna end up with one of those asinine death records. Rollo Cotter lived a full and wonderful life, till he read so much boring crud that his brain oozed out of his ears.
Rollo shut his book with an assertive nod.
If you've got a better idea, spit it out. You sound like my sister. Keep pushing your luck, pal. And it won't be boring country records that'll kill you. I'll put you in the obituaries myself.
Rollo muttered under his breath.
You're a country record. Really? That's the best you got? Well, I'm done with you. You'll be the footnote in history. Just like...
Beck slammed her finger down on the open page before glancing down to read.
J. Hatford here. I'd love to see you try. Hey, hey, hey! We're all a little tired here. Just take a minute and...
Something tickled the back of Luca's mind.
Wait. What was that name back? In the a bit... J. Hatford? From Brookville Tribune 20 years ago. That can't be right. What is it? J. Hatford? That's my Gran's name, Juniper Hatford. Maybe there were two J. Hatfords? Mrs. Hatford is survived by her young daughter, E. Hatford. My mum's name is Eleanor. Okay, this is getting creepy. If your Gran is 6 feet under, 3 towns over, then who am I living with?
The question hung in the air.
Alright gang, I gotta close up for the night.
Beck rubbed her eyes.
How late is it? Almost 10. Oh crap, my pa's gonna kill me. Gotta go. Yeah, my parents will be worried sick. Okay, let's meet up as early as we can at the festival tomorrow. What are we gonna do about the unconscious man in your basement? I'll think of something.
Luca's heart was pounding as he approached the house. If he was lucky, Gran, or whoever it was, hadn't gotten back yet. And of course, there was Mr. Tolliver tied up and unconscious in the basement. Dealing with him would be
If
the
he's
first
even
order of
unconscious
business.
anymore.
Luca shook out his arms to calm his nerves before entering. He held perfectly still, tempering his breath, and listened closely. She was asleep. His only hope was that she hadn't found Mr. Tolliver before dozing off.
Be very quiet. She dead. Oh no.
Mr. Tolliver was nowhere to be seen.
Maybe he woke up, escaped from his bindings, and left without a trace?
Or maybe Gran knew everything.
What do I do?
Luca's hungry stomach groaned. Not realizing it, he'd gone the entire day without eating.
Okay, I can figure this out. I just need a little brain food.
Luca rushed over to the pile of jam jars, unscrewed one, and shoveled a handful into his mouth.
I'm afraid your jam delivery will be delayed.
He flipped the lid to read the label.
Mr. Nuncreed. Okay, now I can think. So if Gran knows we tied up Mr. Tolliver, I'm screwed. If she doesn't know, then I need to play it cool. I guess the only option is to go to bed and act as if nothing was wrong. Gran will think Mr. Tolliver finished what he was sent to do and left when he was all done. Gran? Okay, stick to the plan. Go to bed and play it cool.
As Luca climbed the final stair, the emotion of the day dragged heavily on him. With each consecutive step, his legs weakened. His stride began to falter. He tried to grab for the railing to steady himself. Something was wrong.
Come on, legs. Just a few more steps.
Luca groaned and tried to move.
It's because he ate the jam for Mr. Nuncreed. Maybe it was poisoned because she knows that he's bad. Oh no!
His limbs might as well have been bolted to the ground.
And now even if she didn't know, she will because we ate it.
Through numb lips, he mumbled just before falling asleep.
Jam! Sweet boy. What did you get yourself into? Is this at the end moment? Rest now. Let me handle everything. Okay, so she doesn't care to harm us at least.
Chapter 9. A speech to end all speeches. Luca awoke to find himself face down in bed. He moaned into his pillow. Why would Gran drug him? Or rather, why was she trying to drug Mr. Nuncreed?
'Cause he's the bad guy. Duh. Part of the team, anyway.
Shaking the questions from his woozy head, Luca snapped back to the matter at hand.
The festival! Probably gonna be a lot of people to chat to. Where have you been? Gran put something in the jam. Yeah, we know. Secret message for the secret conspirators. Not this one. The one intended for Mr. Nuncreed. Put me to sleep. Whoa! Sly devil. I think she was trying to remove him from the equation. He might be in danger. Have you found anything? We looked around but haven't seen anything odd. Your Gran is nowhere to be found. But Mr. Nuncreed is just loafing around waiting for the speech. What speech? Mayor Gus just got up to the podium. Everyone is gathered at the stage. Let's get moving.
Augustus Valentine nervously wiped his brow.
Ahem. Is this thing... hello, Beacon Pines. I'm Augustus Valentine, your mayor, and... I suppose you already know that. Oh yes, before we get started, I just wanted to take a moment to recognize someone who couldn't be here today. This town couldn't be where it is today without my father, Sharper Valentine. So I thought we could begin with a round of applause befitting such a great man. Oh, that's awkward. Even that's more than the old codger deserved.
Gus cleared his throat and awkwardly loosened his tie.
Right, where was I?
William Kerr bounded on the stage with the energy of a preacher at a big tent revival.
Gus Valentine, everyone!
He gave Gus a hearty slap on the back and motioned him off the stage.
Let's hear it for our mayor! What a great turnout. Oh, heck, I didn't prepare anything. But I suppose I could say a few words. Would be a shame to waste such a beautiful podium.
Mr. Kerr pulled a thick stack of note cards out from his vest.
Of course. Community, conviction, commitment. These are the things we celebrate at Perennial Harvest. For us, these are the pillars of the bridge to a better tomorrow. But I think it's a time to add a new pillar. Change. Change is a powerful thing. It's inexorable, unavoidable, and undeniable. And I am dadgum thankful for it. Change is the reason we're here together today. It's hard for me to believe that it was only 4 years ago when fate brought me here. A simple business trip which brought me to a small town which would change my life forever.
Mr. Kerr took a moment to survey the crowd.
What do you know?
He wiped away a single tear.
From the second I set foot in Beacon Pines, something about this place has held me captive. You see, change represents opportunity. It represents potential. And it was change that helped me recognize the potential of this place. To see that the people of this town, despite suffering great loss, still held on to the things that made them special.
He thumped the podium to emphasize each word.
Community, conviction, commitment, change.
Mr. Kerr nodded confidently, biting his lip. The crowd was silent, in rapt attention.
Fate made a perfect match that day. Nothing is more important to you all than community. And perennial harvest is the most community first and foremost.
Mr. Kerr methodically made eye contact with each section of the crowd.
The only way you made it through the foul harvest was an unshakable conviction. A conviction that a better tomorrow was just over the horizon. Perennial Harvest was founded on this conviction, and we are that horizon. This festival is a symbol of our commitment to each other.
His voice began to build to a crescendo.
Now we walk, hand in hand, into a future we will shape together. And that is what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of its neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I am tickled pink that we will be making that choice together. How great is that? Just imagine what we can accomplish. Whoa. They blew it up. What was that?
The crowd began to look around nervously.
Don't worry, a little thunder isn't going to ruin this day. Everyone, remain calm.
Mr. Kerr quickly flicked through his note cards.
Where was I? Through all my travels, I have learnt one true thing. One always reaps what they sow. We have all planted a lot of good in this town. And so it is with a happy heart that I proclaim... Are you running from me?
He raised his hands up to the heavens.
Our harvest awaits. Oh no. So it's her.
At that moment,
It is her.
A merciless wall of impossibly cold air ripped through the crowd, instantly freezing everyone and everything it touched. For a man like William Kerr, this was a fitting way for things to end. On a stage, with an entire town frozen in rapt attention for the rest of time. The end.
It was our Gran who did it. Because, I guess, because she used too much. She used too many explosives or something. I don't know.
There's that ice again! Whenever I think we're getting close, it comes along and ruins everything. Maybe we should just quit?
No,
Maybe
never.
we should just close the book, walk away, and never think of me again. No, I don't mean that. We got a little closer this time. We just need to try again. Please.
Thank you everybody for joining me for episode 5 of Beacon Pines. I hope you guys are enjoying this story, and hopefully either the next episode or the one after we will find a route that we don't end up frozen in ice. We can stop our Gran or do something to keep everybody safe. But until then, if you haven't done so yet, click that likes button and subscribe. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys!